A couple of weeks before Christmas, two young boys, brothers, went to stay with their grandma and their granddad overnight. As they were getting ready for bed, the older boy knelt down by the side of the bed and began to pray loudly. "Dear God, please can I have a skateboard and some wireless headphones for Christmas? Amen." "What are you shouting for?" his younger brother asked. "God isn't deaf." "No," replied his brother, "but Grandma is." God isn't deaf. At Christmas, we celebrate that fact that God hears us. God wasn't deaf to the cries of his people. That he came to earth that first Christmas to undergo a human birth and later die a human death to restore us to proper relationship with him. God did that because as our loving Father, he would do anything for us. Think of those enormously poignant adverts and social media postings from parents whose children of whatever age have gone missing. Invariably, they say something along the lines of, "Just come home. I don't care what you've done, just come back to me." And that's what God says to each one of us through his incarnation at Christmas. "You are my child and I adore you. I don't care what you've done or how far you have strayed. Just come back to me and let's begin again." In that stable 2,000 years ago, a deal was struck. God brought to the table love and mercy and forgiveness and peace, and we brought all the darkness of our lives, the lying, the selfishness, the deeds done in secret, our culture of one-upmanship. And God turned the tables. He took away all of that from us and brought us in its place love and mercy and forgiveness and peace. Peace. The peace brought to us by Christ, that peace which the world cannot give, God's peace for you and for me. There's a play that some of you might know by T.S. Eliot called Murder in the Cathedral. It tells the story of the martyrdom of Thomas à Becket in the year 1170. As Thomas awaits his brutal death in Canterbury Cathedral, he talks of the all-encompassing sense of peace he has in God. And he talks of his life using the imagery of a cartwheel. If you think of a wooden cartwheel, you have the rim and you have the spokes, and in the centre you have the hub. And Eliot writes that when you live within the peace of Christ, it's as though you are at the hub of a cartwheel, you and Christ abiding together. And no matter how fast that cartwheel spins, no matter how much chaos is going on all around you, that hub remains perfectly centred. Christ abides with us. The peace which he brings holds us in love and grace amid all troubles and chaos and strife of our lives and the world around us. The peace of God, abiding with us and delivered to us by God himself in this child, this baby, this God, that first Christmas. Abiding peace is Christ's gift to the world. But living with the abiding peace of Christ doesn't mean living a life free from challenge, not at all. But what it does mean is that in all that comes along to threaten our sense of balance and perspective, our sense of our ability to cope with the dark times that all of us have, money worries, relationship issues, health concerns, employment, lack of employment, family stresses, loneliness, and so on. In all of that is spinning around us at any one time, we are held absolutely firm in love and in that all-consuming sense of abiding peace with Christ at the centre. At the Christ child's manger and next to the wise men's offering, we are invited to metaphorically lay down our own. All that troubles us, all that makes us sad and fearful, all that makes us less than the people God made us to be. Christ takes all of those things from us and gives us his gift in return, his gift of that peace which the world cannot give, a gift that is unique to him because only he has overcome the world. So this Christmas, consider giving one more present. Draw together all that makes you fearful, all that makes you feel less than loved, all that makes you ashamed, all that makes you anxious, and lay it down at the foot of the manger. And pick up in its place the gift that Christ has brought you: peace, love, freedom, mercy, hope. Unwrap it, take it to yourself, and then step out into the world, into a new future, and live your life in all the fullness that God intends for you. May the abiding peace of Christ be with you this Christmas and always. Amen.
Amen.